James at BimmerWorld, and this is our E46 Drift Car. So it's that kind of lower level training car, already been to an event. Some of the stuff was already done, like this thing already had a welded diff when we got the car. We started out with an OPTIMA battery for its last running because the car sat around, needed a new battery. OPTIMA, always our choice. So it's got a yellow top in it already, but we are working through some of the stuff and we've been working pretty heavily on this car. You're digging into the back, OPTIMA battery, you start to see that ISC suspension that we're installing. We've got the back together and we are running this in a coilover configuration so we can work on the arm angle on this car. We want to kind of stand those tires up and get best tire wear, tire temps across the face. You're gonna see the reinforcement plates that we got in the back. You know, the guys had time, right? Race season's done. The guys are working on other things right now, so they have time for a project. So suddenly, this thing has a cage, this thing has all the welding done for reinforcements, and the car is coming along super fast. So super pumped with what the guys are doing. We'll show you some more of it. Yeah, so front of the car, engine's kind of apart a little bit. We had to do a few things. First of all, we had some leaks. So we had to fix those, new oil pan gasket. Of course, that's the opportunity to put new Redline oil. That's kind of the lifeblood. So that's one of the first upgrades we do to any vehicle here. We've also got the exhaust on now. We backdated this thing to E36 manifolds, not a road car. So this has our race exhaust on it for E46. So, you know, that's kind of nice. Let it breathe. I don't care so much about the power for what we're doing with this car, but it sounds right, and I love that. Intake's off just because we're working on the clutch. That's the easy way to get to the starter bolt. We'll talk a little bit more about the clutch. Have to put the M3 front bumper on. Have to look cool doing this, I guess. That's what the kids say. The front of the car is all apart right now as far as suspension because we have some new goodies coming in. That ISC suspension's going on, but we've got our angle kit coming and some other drifty goodies. HVAC gone, as well as the rest of the interior. So right now, the interior's kind of been, as we installed the cage, pulled fully apart, cage appears, and we're ready to go racing. We did leave the windows in this thing. That just makes life easy. But we've got an OMP seat. We had this hanging around from another project. This thing's gonna get a pair of OMP seats, OMP wheel, etc. But this is kind of here for the mock-up, so pop in this thing real quick. Oh, BimmerWorld pedals, nice touch. Love that as much as we're hammering on pedals. And I'm gonna show you this. Donnie, I wore special socks for this. These are my Hoonigan Drifty socks. So we worked with Ben at Hoonigan, stopped over there to do some stuff with him and his BMWs. He gave me some socks. So I got my clutch kick sock, and I also just popped the clutch slave cylinder out. So now I've got a leak under the car. So anyway, we're mocking up the car. We're gonna get the OMP wheel in here. We've got our BimmerWorld race shifter. Once we are able to connect that to a transmission and know where that lives, then we can work on that handbrake. So waiting for that to arrive. Also, Drift HQ took care of us on some of this stuff, and we'll figure out where everything goes. After I apologize for the mess I just made with the clutch slave. Sure enough, I was the jackhole that did the clutch slave, guys. But I did it for Donnie. All right, lifting the car up because the other stuff we've got going on happens underneath. Underneath the car, clearly, the brakes are off the car, so the guys really don't appreciate it when I get in the car and push pedals. You can see the ISC suspension on there in the rear. We've done some other rear work, solid mounted a lot of stuff, some bearings in the suspension, and then some OE type bearings. MEYLE is with us on this, and I love their stuff, the MEYLE HD stuff, better than OE quality. So we've got MEYLE bearings, upper, lower on the outers of the arms, waiting for some arms to come in. Again, adjustable so we can stand this thing straight up. And we got some goodies today. So I know we've been waiting on this stuff.
Oh, what's in the box?
MEYLE HD, MEYLE HD. What is this? Guibo. Center support. So yeah, center support was all rotten up on this car. So, you know, just stuff you expect with a 200,000 mile car. Guibo. MEYLE HD, better than stock. Hood pins, caged car, cable comes out, makes life easy. Powerflex. So these are offset radiator mounts, and that kind of gives extra room between the radiator and the steering. What is that, Dave? Power steering pulley and the coolant expansion tank. So anyway, sometimes to put a bigger radiator in, we're running the stock radiator on this for now, but that extra room, given what we're doing, might be a good thing. More MEYLE suspension bits. And let's see, what do we have here? Window pop out delete. So we're keeping the side windows in this car, but we're removing the power functionality of the rear windows. The E46 has those windows that pop out. There's a little rivet-in, bolt-in kit that gets rid of those motors and just simplifies life. ClutchMasters decals, which must mean that we got a clutch. Clutch and flywheel. I think we've got an aluminum flywheel on this deal. This is a stock shape clutch and flywheel. They hooked us up with something called ceramic, and this is a kind of drift specific material on the clutch. Works really well, holds up to all the slipping we're gonna be doing, but also grabs. Not a big power car, but a big abuse car. So thanks to ClutchMasters for making this happen, and we're certainly putting this thing to the test. Additional, BimmerWorld sweatband. Power steering's gonna get hot. This keeps it from overflowing, or at least keeps it from making a mess. So sweatband, it's kind of a cool little catch rag. That's the parts the guys are gonna be hanging for the next little bit. Then we're gonna do the more specific front end drift parts, angle kit. Probably gonna have to cut a body. So we went pretty aggressive on the angle kit. I assume that's gonna mean that we have to do replacement fenders, pull fenders off, whatever we're gonna do. Not really sure yet. We're kind of working through this. So this is our first drift build. Have some guys here that drift, so they're kind of taking me under their wing. So I know how to do race cars and racing stuff, different form of motorsports with a BMW, and we want to do it all. So we have the resources here. The guys have been awesome. Other suppliers have been awesome. Thanks ClutchMasters, thanks Optima, thanks Redline Oil, thanks MEYLE, OMP, Lifeline stuff is coming. I am gonna put fire protection in the car because it doesn't matter what form of motorsport I'm in, I wanna be protected, and Lifeline does that for us. So I am getting my hands dirty, and I am trying to clean up my own mess. So, you know, I'll put this back together and then those guys will fix it right, but at least I put in the effort, and that's what they tell me is important. Oh, I think I got it actually. Well, look at me. Gonna talk about any of this stuff? Old clutch flywheel. This thing is a superstar, so I don't know how many miles this car has on it, 180,000, 200,000, something like that. I assume this is the stock piece because this rarely gets replaced. This thing hung through me for a full day of pounding on it, so I would say I'm light on equipment, but that's not true at all. So, hey, this thing's gonna go out on top, like Michael or something.
That thing held on, that tire did not, but.
Yeah, we had some tire challenges, but we also used tires from the scrap bin. All these spec E46 cars that we're building, we have a pile of wheels and tires. We threw them all in the trailer. They don't even match the same sizes, so I'm not surprised they didn't do well. But we got some Continentals coming, and those are gonna be awesome tires for what we're doing with this car.
He's got one.
All right, drift car stuff. So we've got some more packages from Drift HQ, Wise Fab. This is the angle kit. This is a new thing for us. Pat's car over there has some weld-on pieces. We decided on this, we want to be full, like, bolt-on. Wise Fab makes great stuff. Easy to set up. And we'll figure out what's not easy about it as we go. So big wide arms.
Oh, baby.
There's gonna be some ball joints in there. Probably gonna need to take the fenders off the car. So I suspect this is gonna be, well, they say wider fenders required, or fender over kit required. I'm sure that's the case. So, but we'll learn it the hard way anyway. More stuff. So that goes on the spindles and changes those pivot points.
Camber plates.
Camber plates. Man.
Oh, sweet.
All kinds of good stuff.
Like Christmas game or?
So we also got seats from OMP. More stuff. It keeps coming. It keeps coming. Seats from OMP. So it's going to be a standard seat on the driver's side. We've got a wider seat from them that goes on the passenger side, so we're going to accommodate a range of passengers. And then the pieces we've been waiting on. This is going to be our steering wheel and hub adapter, I think, from OMP. So yeah, it's a bolt-on. We decided to do everything on this bolt-on.
Impact tested.
Side mounts for your seats here, and then the steering wheel. So we've got a bolt-on hub adapter. Lifeline hooked this up with a quick release, bolt-on version of quick release. So just making it easier so we don't have to weld this up. We're gonna get this stuff on today. And that's going to allow us to then position the handbrake inside the car. A little bit of a ditch on that wheel. So we'll see what the stack up of all this stuff is once the seat's in there. All right, so hardware included. Lifeline's got hardware for the quick release. OMP has hardware for the wheel. That's kind of nice. Hey, are we doing a horn on this? Not a horn with quick release. Are we putting one of those BimmerWorld pieces, or we'll just use the OMP?
People got to watch out for you. I mean, you may want to let people know.
I'm hoping this fits right. So it's it's kind of got to be steering wheel, brake, shifter, all within like easy reach. So anyway, we'll throw that stuff in today and see how this stuff fits. So thanks guys. Tune in more. We're gonna do, a couple more segments on this car, plus we're gonna put it in action. Early next year, still figuring out the events. Anyway, like, subscribe, follow along, call us, ask us. We got drift guys. If you got questions about what we're doing, give us a yell.
You ready to go?
Should be an awesome race weekend. We are ready to kill it this year. It's gonna be a wild ride.